The much-awaited India-US trade deal is done. On February 2nd, Trump took to social media announcing the India-US trade deal. He called Modi a great friend, said the agreement followed direct talks between the two leaders. Prime Minister Modi soon after followed up with his own social media post calling Trump his dear friend. But what is the trade deal? Well, the agreement is still being finalized. The joint statement is expected, but let me break down what we know so far. For starters, the big headline of tariffs. The trade deal has ensured tariffs on India by America is down from 50% to 18%. And in return, India lowering its tariff on US exports to 0.
एक फॉर्मल एग्रीमेंट ड्राफ्ट हो रहा है जिसको शायद महीना भर 1.5 महीना लग सकता है, लेकिन 18% जो यूएस टैरिफ्स घटने हैं वो जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट अनाउंस होने के बाद एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑर्डर द्वारा यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका कर देगा.
What about oil? Well, this has been a bit complicated because Trump in his announcement claimed that India will no longer buy Russian oil, will shift to Venezuelan oil.
A very good relationship. India committed to not only no longer purchasing Russian oil, but buying oil from the United States, also perhaps from Venezuela too, which we know will now have a direct benefit on the United States and the American people.
What's India said on this? Well, the government has said India will continue to buy crude oil from anywhere in the world, whichever suits us, where there are no sanctions based on market rates. India did not buy from Venezuela when sanctions were in place. Now that those sanctions have been lifted, Venezuela is an option too. I will also highlight here that Russia has communicated that there's been no stopping supply of oil to India so far. Now let's talk about agriculture, which was a big sticking point and led to the delay in the trade deal being finalized. What's happened over the past year can perhaps help explain why the agriculture part remains opaque so far. India was determined not to open the floodgates in ways that could destabilize its farm and dairy sectors. It was willing to discuss limited agricultural access. Corn, soybeans, ethanol, dairy consistently emerged as the hardest issues. The United States pushed for access for corn and soybeans, crops that are predominantly genetically modified in America, and also for ethanol linked to corn production. India, however, has long opposed genetically modified food and feed crops and has been unwilling to allow meat-fed dairy products also into Indian markets. So these demands have been politically and socially explosive. The government has maintained that there has been no compromise on the interests of farmers. They say the sensitive sectors in agriculture and dairy that were protected will continue to be protected.
हमने मुख्य अनाज, डेयरी उत्पाद, हमारे प्रमुख फल सबको सुरक्षित रखा है. ऐसा कोई बाजार नहीं खुल रहा जिसमें हमारे किसानों का अहित हो, नुकसान हो.
Now this landmark deal will be definitely a major win for India because it opens up access to global markets with lower tariffs on textiles, leather, gems, automobiles. Indian MSMEs are set to receive a massive boost in exports. The pharma and generic sectors will also benefit significantly, for now pharma is exempt. But the biggest advantage perhaps lies in electronics. The global chip supply chain may shift to India. Additionally, this deal will strengthen IT and services exports and facilitate more access, smoother access to defense and high-tech sectors. In short, this deal has the potential to transform India's trade and technology landscape, but I reiterate, the fine print is still awaited.